Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yashoda Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Na Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. So we continuing reading from the Transcendental Diaries by Harisori Prabhu. And today we're doing chapter 10, March 25th, 1976. We'll invoke some auspiciousness. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Okay, so this is March 25th, 1976, Calcutta, New Delhi, Modinagar and Aligarh. For his morning exercise, Prabhupada took an easy walk up and down the grass reserve of the front street. He answered questions from his small band of listeners. Gurudas Swami, Atraya Rishi, Chayavan, Pushta Krishna, Gopal Krishna, Yadubara and myself. Yadubara queried, why devotees get sick if sickness is a punishment for those who violate God's laws? I'm sure all of us ask ourselves this question, right? Prabhupada's answer was frank. Devotees, to become a devotee is not so cheap. You don't think that because you have got tilak, you have become devotee. Why do you think like that? Bhakti Vinod Thakur sang, Eta eka kali chela, naka tilak galaya mala. Here is another follower of Kali. He has got tilak and mala. Sahaj bhajan kachen mamu, sangalaya parewala, eta eka kali chela. He is worshipping bhajan and taking another's wife. Here is a servant of Kali. Simply he has changed his dress with tilak and mala, Bhakti Vinod Thakur says. If you take tilak and mala and do all nonsense things, then you are not a devotee. You are Kali Chela. To become a devotee is not so easy. Yeah, and we all know this. We've been, even those of us practicing for many, many years, still to become a devotee is not easy. There's always challenges. We're coming from backgrounds, basically we're products of Kali Yuga, and our backgrounds are that of Kali Yuga activities, right? For myself, prior to coming into this movement, I did lots of sinful activities, lots of wrong things. But we thought it was normal, because that's how society is. That what is considered in Vedic culture to be abominable is considered normal now in Kali Yuga. Yes, so then we come into this movement, we come into contact with devotees, or Srila Prabhupada's books, and we decide, okay, yes, this is the way, this is the right way. And by the mercy of the devotees we start to practice, but still it's very difficult. We change our cloth, put dhoti, put sari, kanti mala, tilak, but still, if we're doing wrong, then we're not devotee. It's just a change of cloth. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. We know this. I think it was a story, wasn't it? Or a nursery rhyme. The boy who cried wolf. You'll know the story? Yeah? You know it? No. The boy who cried wolf. Yeah. So anyway, it was a wolf that was coming to steal the sheep. And this little boy, he was like the sheep herder. You call them sheep herders, right? And so the wolf was in disguise in like a sheep in sheep's clothing. And every time the wolf came to steal the sheep, so the boy caught the wolf. And then he was shouting, wolf, wolf, wolf. But when all the people of the village came, there was no wolf, because the wolf was in sheep's clothing. Yeah. So like that, we should not be wolves. The story is longer, but we're not going to get into it. It's not so relevant. We should not be wolves in sheep's clothing. Yeah. Yes, like Prabhupada says, to become devotee is not an easy thing. We may think the process is easy. Oh, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. But it's not so easy. It's not so easy just to we put our hands in our bead bags and then suddenly feel ecstatic symptoms. That's because the heart is dirty. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us, the Bengali is not coming to my mind. But anyway, he teaches us that we chant the holy names and it cleanses the mirror of the mind. Cheto Darpana Marja. Yes, that's why we should be in the association of devotees. Because when we forget, they will remind us. Yes, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Cleansing the mirror of the mind by the chanting of this holy name. And this process, this Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON, is all about chanting the holy names and surrendering to the holy name of Krishna. That is like the foundation, the basic principle of ISKCON. Surrendering to the holy names of Krishna. So yes, we shouldn't just, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, we shouldn't be Kali Chera, followers of Kali. Right? Because for so many lifetimes we've been following Kali. But now we have come to know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya, He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we should become followers of Krishna, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimati Radharani, like that. And even there was one time where devotees, because of they have some position, we could take advantage of position as well, you know. So this creeps in from time to time. It's the anarthas in our hearts. Power corrupt, yes. So we continue. Atreya Rishi added, devotees means perfect? Oh yes, certainly, Prabhupada said. Devotee means he is above these material laws. Just like we were explaining now, we have to rise above the laws of material nature. That is a devotee. Brahma bhuyate kalpate. He is in Brahman stage. That is devotee. Because I have got a tilak and mala, I have become devotee. This kind of cheating will not do. So yeah, we have to become very humble when we want to become devotees. We have to become very humble. Of course, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't wear devotee attire and tilak and kantimala. It's very nice when we see devotees in this attire and chanting and dancing ecstatically in the temple room, on the streets. You know, it's very. The cloth that we wear is very purifying, in fact, for ourselves and for others that see us. You know. So yes, that doesn't mean we should stop stop dressing like devotees, but to become devotee is not an easy thing. It doesn't just mean a change of cloth. Chayavan seemed especially interested in the topic. Prabhupada directly told him that if you do something that is forbidden, then you suffer. That is the law of karma. He said that a devotee follows Krishna's instructions. Krishna is giving the real truth. And if one takes it, he is a devotee. If one does not, he is a non-devotee. Prabhupada makes it very simple. You know, if we take to the instructions of Lord Krishna, then we are devotee. If not, we are not devotee. So this does not mean picking and choosing what instruction suits us. You know, and if a certain instruction is not to our liking or too difficult for us to follow, then we should say, okay, Krishna, you forgive me. No, following Krishna's instruction. Right? And yes, it's difficult, but we take the association of devotees. We take shelter of devotees. Therefore, we accept Guru. And by the mercy of the Guru, we can cross over this ocean of material suffering, this ocean of birth and death. It's explained in Srimad Bhagavatam that this wide ocean, this vast ocean of material suffering becomes small, like the imprint of a calf's hoof. Like that. Yeah. But of course this means surrendering. And what is surrender? Surrender is not just one time, Gurudev, I surrender to you, Krishna, I surrender to you. No, surrender means surrendering every day, every moment we have to surrender. Because as days go on, there's so many obstacles that are there. There's so many anarthas that's still in our heart, and those things come up. And when they come up, then, like sometimes when we're chanting japa, these thoughts come into our head, and for me it's like, Shri Nam Prabhu, please forgive me, please forgive me. I'm trying to surrender to you, but these impure thoughts are there. So like surrender is continuous. It's not just one time, I surrender to you, Krishna, and then that's it. No, we have to continuously surrender. Because it's not like we become pure devotees like that. So as we surrender more and more, as we get rid of anarthas more and more, then our Krishna consciousness becomes more and more pure, more and more strong. Then what is the role of mercy? Pushta Krishna Swami asked. For those who take and those who do not, and those who don't. Srila Prabhupada replied that mercy means if either unknowingly or by some bad habit one does some wrong, that will be excused. But deliberate transgressions, he warned, are not forgiven. Gurudas Maharaj asked what unknowingly means. Prabhupada explained, unknowingly means, suppose you are a smoker. So now you have given up everything. But in the association of some smoker you incline. All right, let me smoke. Then you regret. Oh, I have done this. It can happen. Can happen. It happened to me. So that is excused. But if you think, now I'm a devotee of Krishna, I can smoke like anything, be a chimney, and everything will be excused, then you are a rascal. Okay? So yeah, we have bad habits. Like I said, we're products of Kali Yuga, did so many bad things. And for us, like Prabhupada gives the example of the smoker. It's an addiction. So it's not so easy to just get rid of that addiction. And Prabhupada is speaking about smoking, and I was a smoker. And yeah, it was not easy. For me to give up meat eating was very easy. Just like that. But cigarette was more difficult. And while I was chanting Hare Krishna, but still associating with those smokers. And yeah, I can relate to what Prabhupada is saying, because we know we're not supposed to do it. We know smoking is forbidden, intoxication forbidden. But still, because we're in that association, we become swayed by these friends of ours, right? And then we smoke, or whatever it may be, alcohol, whatever. But back then, fortunately for me, I had this realization that I'm trying to follow this path of spirituality, but if I'm still associating with these friends, so-called friends, because we were only friends when we did the wrong things with them. So I'm associating with these friends, and because I am associating with them, my spiritual life is becoming stagnating. I'm not progressing like I should. So fortunately, back then, many years ago, I had this realization, and slowly I gave up that association. So yes, coming back to the point of association is very important. The more we associate with devotees, the more we'll progress in Krishna consciousness. The more we'll forget those bad habits. They're deep-rooted. They're in the heart. But by the process of chanting Hare Krishna, associating with devotees, then Cheto Dharpana Marjanam. The dust, the impurities in the heart will slowly be washed away. So, yes, then one of the offenses to chanting the holy names is committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting Hare Krishna. So this is what Prabhupada is talking about. We know we're chanting Hare Krishna, and if we think, okay, because the holy name can get rid of all sinful reactions, I can continue sinful activity. So then that is offensive. And offenses against the holy name, offenses against devotees, it can be so bad that Krishna will kick us out of this movement. We've seen it happen when devotees offend others, committing offenses to the holy name. Then we don't make progress in Krishna consciousness. Kali Yuga is laughing. Kali is laughing. So, yeah. And it is said that if we chant with offenses, then we're not really chanting Krishna's name. It's like a shadow. And therefore progress will be very, very, very slow if we're chanting with offenses. So we recite the offenses every morning, and we should meditate on these offenses, these 10 offenses, because sometimes it becomes ritualistic. We just recite the 10 offenses because it's there in the mind. It's like we just recite it like in parrot fashion, but we don't understand the 10 offenses of the holy name. Right? So we should meditate on this on the 10 offenses. We're not going to go into it right now. So we should meditate on it, and then when we understand, there's seminars done on the 10 offenses. When we understand the 10 offenses, then we can chant better. The chanting is improving, because while we're chanting and then we catch ourselves doing these things, we can quickly bring the mind back. He said that the mercy of Krishna is that he wants us to come back to Godhead, even though we have no desire. If we take even one step forward, Krishna will take 10 steps toward us. So we have to have the desire to go back home, back to Godhead. We have to have the desire to develop taste for chanting Krishna's name. And it all comes down to that, to chanting Krishna's name, developing taste, becoming surrendered to the holy name. Because the holy name is non-different from Krishna. And if we surrender to the holy name, then the holy name reveals everything to us. Then why is there punishment and suffering? Another devotee asked. If God is all loving, why does he make us suffer? Prabhupada told him, Krishna loves us. But if we don't do what he says, then we must naturally suffer, as the child is burned by the fire when ignoring the advice of his father. Yet he said that suffering is also mercy, because through such experience the soul will be purified and give up his enviousness of Krishna. So this question of freedom of jiva and control of Krishna, Atreya asked, so this question of freedom and jiva and control of Krishna, that there is freedom, but at the same time there is no freedom, is a very fine line between the two that sometimes we do not understand. So yes, we understand that we have this minute freedom, but then if there's punishment, then what is that freedom? If we're free to do whatever we want, so why do we get punished? Right? So, Prabhupada is explaining that the punishment is also Krishna's mercy. Prabhupada gives the example of a child wanting to touch fire, and the father will say, no, if you put your hand in the fire, you will get burnt. But still the child wants to touch. So the father allows the child to put his hand in the fire. And when the child gets burnt, then he understands, oh no. Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, yes, when the child gets burnt, then you understand, okay, this is going to cause pain. Prabhupada gave the example of him wanting to put his finger in the fan, touch the blades of the fan. And his father was, told him no. But he insisted, and then father allowed him to put his finger and touch the blade of the fan. And when Prabhupada got hurt, then he realized, okay, this is why I should not put my finger in there. Yeah. So like that, in life, we want to do so many things. So much of we want to satisfy our senses. But Krishna is explaining that just satisfying the material senses is we become more and more bound in this material nature, in the material world. The satisfaction of material senses. So what should we do? Satisfy the senses of Krishna. Yeah. And we can do a test. Like we have certain desires. We want to fulfill we want to fulfill our desires, the material desires. And if we do fulfill that desire, whatever it may be, make a note of how long the happiness lasts. Let's take example, a very gross example, sex desire. It's in everyone, and it's very hard to get rid of. Extremely difficult to get rid of. So sex desire is there. And we know no illicit sex. We shouldn't indulge in illicit sex. Sex only for creating good Krishna conscious children. But the desire is there. And then we give into this. We give into it. And after the activity is done, what pleasure is there? So few, like Prabhupada explains, few moments of pleasure. Right? It's not like you can continuously have sex for 24 hours a day. To have 24 hours of pleasure. Not possible. Right? So this is the material world. But if we chant and dance for the pleasure of Krishna, and if we truly chant and dance for the pleasure of Krishna, I promise you, we can chant and dance for hours and hours and feel that bliss without tiring. We did it not so long ago. We followed the morning program, chanted japa. After breakfast, we left for Harinam. And when we came back, we came straight into the temple room. All this time, we didn't speak any words. The only thing that was what was coming out of our mouths was the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then we came to the temple room. I think it was maybe an hour or so before the midday arti. Still continued chanting. The kirtan didn't stop, and there was no conversation. It was still continuing. We still continued with kirtan. The arti started, and there's still chanting of the holy name. For hours this carried on. And it was blissful. It was happiness, unceasing happiness. Right. So that we can try, we can do the test. If you're in the association of the right devotee who has taste for chanting the holy name, you will feel, because that will rub off on you. That his ecstasy will rub off on you. And you'll feel that the bliss of the holy name, the bliss of Krishna. We'll continue. Okay, so the very fine line between the two, freedom and no freedom. But why don't you understand, Prabhupada rejoined? Just like you belong to a free nation, America, does it mean you are free to do anything and everything? When you say, I belong to this free nation, then yes, you are free. But that does not mean that you can do anything and everything. So this comment made by Prabhupada makes us wonder, are we really free in the material world? And he's making the point that America claims to be the land of the free. But he's making the point that, are you free to do anything and everything? No. There are laws that we have to follow. And if you break the law, because of you have the freedom to break the law, then you have to still suffer the consequences. So no freedom. It was a topic that devotees often debate. Just how much independence does the individual soul have? Pushta Krishna Maharaj pursued the point. If a person is habituated to smoking, is he free in that activity, or has he surrendered his freedom? It is like the person who smokes despite the government printing a warning on the box. Prabhupada said, one is free to do it, but not free from the results. Therefore, the living entity has minute, but not absolute independence. It is like a child who is free to play, but as soon as he does something wrong, his father is there to correct him. And this conversation goes on. But the point is that we may have minute independence, minute freedom, but still, if we do not follow Krishna's instructions, then we're not devotee. We will get punished. If we use our independence to break the rules, to not follow Krishna's instructions, then yes, there are consequences. And we will, just because we're wearing tilak, dhoti, japam, tulsi mala, does not mean that we will not suffer the consequences. So then we come to, so even a person merged in the mode of ignorance can by some good fortune surrender to Krishna? Prabhupada says, not good fortune. God, Krishna says, you do it, here. Immediately you become fortunate. There is no question of wanting to become fortunate. You become fortunate immediately. Suppose if I say, take this bag, $100,000. You can take it, immediately you become a rich man. Why don't you take it? So understanding Prabhupada's point that even good fortune is dependent on the mercy of the Lord, Guru Das Maharaj asked how Kripa Siddhi works. So everybody knows what's Kripa Siddhi, eh? So it's like how you get a Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated soul. So a Nitya Siddha is an eternally liberated soul. Okay? So we are in this material world and we want the mercy of Guru, we want the mercy of Krishna. So by that mercy we become Kripa Siddha. Kripa Siddhi. By the Guru's mercy we become liberated. By Krishna, by the Lord's mercy. So Prabhupada, Guru Das Maharaj asked how Kripa Siddhi works. Prabhupada's reaction took us all by surprise. Kripa Siddhi means that you are not willing to take this bag of money. So Krishna is giving us mercy. Right? But we don't want to take it. Kripa Siddhi means that you are not willing to take this bag of money. I say, take it, take it, take it. He suddenly turned and very vigorously pushed Guru Das in the stomach, as if he were trying to give him the imaginary bag. Everyone broke out laughing, and Guru Das Maharaj was simultaneously astonished and delighted at the sudden abrogation of the formal guru-disciple relationship. So Srila Prabhupada continued the mimicry and the pushing. He feigned resistance. No, and then began pushing again. That is Kripa Siddhi. Even you are unwilling, I give you in your pocket. Push it. That is Kripa Siddhi. So the mercy is there. Krishna is giving mercy. We don't want it. But then we have the devotees, we have Guru, we have Sadhu, and they say, take this mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda are coming, and they're giving for free. Take it, putting it in your pocket. Right? Kripa Siddhi, like that. But some people are still so unfortunate that they still don't want to take the mercy. There is nothing dry in Srila Prabhupada's expression of philosophy. He makes the philosophy come alive because he lives it himself. In so doing, he attracts us to use our little independence to surrender to his lotus feet. So, yeah, Srila Prabhupada, he made so many people into devotees because he lived this. He lived Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And that made me think that if we're not living it, we cannot give it. We want to preach, right? We all may be anxious to preach, but are we living what we're preaching? That is the key. Okay? So therefore, that saying, practice what you preach. Okay? And yeah, this is what will make. You can come on the carpet. This is what will make devotees. We have to practice it, and then we can give it. And we don't have to be big scholars. That the verses are just there, and you don't have to ask the devotee what the verse is. You know, but by our sincerity, our humility. Just by behaving like devotees, we can make make others devotees. Okay? So we have to live it. This was Srila Prabhupada. He lived it. He walked his talk, we can say. Guru Das mentioned that since we see everyone in the world as potential devotees, we should also serve them so they can become devotees. But Prabhupada clarified the distinction between showing mercy and serving others. That is not service, that is mercy. He explained that although a devotee has a mood of service, Vaishnava philosophy is that we serve the higher devotees and show mercy to the lower ones. He said the popular Mayavadi idea that one should serve everyone is wrong. This puzzled me because it says in the Shastras that the most advanced devotee sees himself as the lowest of all. So I asked, Harisori is asking, that if that is so, then where is the question of the advanced devotee showing mercy to someone whom he sees as lower? So we all thought that, as devotees we should see ourselves as lower than the others. The servant of the servant of the servant. But Prabhupada is saying, no, we show mercy to those who are lower than us. So there are those who are lower than devotees, or devotees in different categories. So then Prabhupada replied that the advanced devotee does not see anyone as lower than himself, but his mood is one of sympathy. Oh, there is a person, he can be a devotee, let me raise him to that standard. He concluded, it is duty. It does not mean he is thinking, I am higher. No. Okay. So, An advanced devotee, yeah, he's not thinking that he is advanced, but he is always sympathetic to everyone. And he wants to give Krishna to everyone. This is the mood of Srimati Radharani. She wants to give Krishna. So yes. So I wanted to make the point about there are devotees in this movement who push the devotees that are not so advanced, push them up. Right? I've experienced it. Like Raghunath Bhatta was here now, and he just left. But him, from personal experience, even when we just joined the movement and we started taking his association, and he took us with him to programs and things. But he's a person that never thought that he's going to the program and he's going to be speaking. So when we went, he always pushed us forward to speak about Krishna. You know? So in that way, we became more confident about speaking, sitting and speaking. And also in that way, because we knew that we have to, this is what may happen to us, that he may suddenly say, you're going to be speaking today, like 10 minutes before the program starts. You know, like that. So that made us want to start reading and becoming more knowledgeable in Krishna consciousness. So like that we advanced, you know. So that is an advanced devotee. He pushes others forward and he stays in the background. But because he stays in the background, Krishna is giving him more and more fame. Like that. In other words, Pushta Krishna Maharaj added, he doesn't consider that he is advanced and that therefore he is showing mercy to the lower. Yes, Prabhupada affirmed. He is always thinking, I am lower than the worm. But Lord Krishna wants it, so let me do some service. That's all. So that is the mood of a devotee. Krishna wants me to do it, and therefore I have to do it for any service that we do. And I sometimes catch myself that when I'm doing some sort of service, and I'm mostly doing Harinam, that when I'm out in the street there, I sometimes forget that why I'm doing it. First of all, I'm doing it for my own purification. But because now sometimes we get caught up in the moment, we start to enjoy the holy name, then we forget, I'm not doing this for Krishna's pleasure. And then suddenly it becomes for our pleasure. Yeah. And we'll find that sometimes the kirtans are ecstatic, the harinams are very ecstatic, but suddenly we'll find that the mercy is taken away and it's not so ecstatic anymore. And we're trying hard to feel that ecstasy again. You know? So the Lord withdraws the mercy when I was just explaining, we forget why we're doing the service. And then it becomes like a ritual. Yeah. So yeah, we should always remind ourselves, we're doing it because Krishna wants us to do it. And because Krishna wants it, and if I do it, it'll please him. You know, that's the mood of the devotee. Everything for Krishna and nothing for myself. So his comments made it clear it is simply a question of offering assistance to help another advance. That is our role. We have to help others advance. And in that way we will advance. Prabhupada illustrated this point. Through another comical exchange with Guru Das. Therefore we say Prabhu. Prabhu means you are my master. Please order me. What can I do for you? That is Prabhu. That should be the attitude. Not Gurudas Prabhu. Please come here and brush my shoes. Yeah. So they all laughed when Prabhupada said this. And then Prabhupada continues, what kind of Prabhu? He should say, Gurudas Prabhu, can I brush your shoes? That is a real Vaishnava. So always wanting to serve the Vaishnavas. Yeah, that is Prabhu. Yeah, so we have this tendency calling everyone Prabhu, but we want service ourselves. This is built in. This is Kali Yuga. Right? But through the chanting, that bhav of wanting to be served, always wanting to be served, will slowly go away. We'll become more and more humble and wanting to serve others, other devotees. Wanting to, not only devotees, we should serve everyone, even the animals. So we'll do a few more and then take questions or comments. So I'm just going to skip to the interesting parts. Okay. So March 26, 1976. Today is Ekadasi. During his walk out in the front road, Pushta Krishna Swami... No, it's not Ekadasi. Today that's what it says here. March 26, 1976 was Ekadasi. During his walk out on the front road, Pushta Krishna Swami asked Srila Prabhupada, what would bring him the greatest pleasure? So this is very interesting. Everyone wants to know this. What brings Srila Prabhupada the greatest pleasure? Who wants to know? No one wants to know. What brings Srila Prabhupada the greatest pleasure? Do you want to know? Okay. Fasten your seatbelts. Without any hesitation, Srila Prabhupada replied, you all become fully Krishna conscious, 100% Krishna conscious. This will make give Srila Prabhupada the greatest pleasure. Right? People are suffering for want of Krishna consciousness. Let them have this Krishna consciousness and become happy. That's all. This is what will give Srila Prabhupada pleasure. That we all become 100% Krishna conscious. In this lifetime, we should strive to do it. And then Prabhupada also says, others are also in want of this Krishna consciousness, and we should give it to them and make them happy also. This should be our goal in life. Now that we've come into this movement, this should be our goal in life. To please Srila Prabhupada by becoming fully Krishna conscious and giving Krishna conscious to others. And in whatever way we can do it, give Krishna conscious to others. Like I said before, we may not be great preachers, but whatever little we can do in that small way, every little counts. Just like when Sri Ramachandra was building the bridge to Lanka, there were the great army was there, the Varna army, throwing in big boulders, but there were also the little creatures that can only put in some grains of sand. Right? But they all contributed. And in the end it was victory. There was victory. So like that, whatever little we can do to preach Krishna consciousness, we should do. But become fully Krishna conscious, 100%. And we can do it. We take advantage of the association of advanced devotees. And the more we take association, or we associate with devotees, and preferably devotees that are more advanced than us, the more the the taste for enjoying material activities will diminish. It's like you have a cup of poison, say poison, Kali Yuga mentality is poison. But if we keep on pouring purified water or something in that cup, eventually the poison over time will become ineffective. Yes? So like that, association of devotees, chanting Krishna's holy name incessantly will purify us, and we can become 10% Krishna conscious. Pushta Krishna Maharaj also asked about Lord Chaitanya's prediction that the holy name will be spread to every town and village. He wondered to what extent that will come true. Does it mean a temple will be established in every town, or just that preachers will travel here and tick it off as another place visited? Prabhupada told him that travel is essential, and if possible, there should be centers. He asked, why just village to village? We should go door to door. Just like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave instruction to Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, go door to door and beg, please chant Krishna, please say Krishna. So we should do like that as well. And when we do it, we've done it quite many times, you'll be amazed at how you can change people's hearts, And sometimes when we get into people's homes and, we're doing kirtan, and then you see those people in those homes, they just start crying. And then they reveal their minds, like, they're going through so much of suffering. And now that, that kirtan is going on in the house, or devotees in that house, and we're speaking about Krishna, it just brings such relief to the heavy heart. So yeah, this is a preaching movement. We have to give Krishna, but we can't give what we don't have. So we have to steal Krishna from the other devotees who have them by taking their association. And then we can give to others. And the more we give, the more we'll get. There's that common English saying, the more you give, the more you get, right? We didn't understand it, but it's understood when in this movement, in Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON, that the more you give Krishna, the more you'll get. So, 2 or 3 minutes for questions or comments. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. I can hear me.
It's on.
Hare Krishna. Yes, we were talking about how he was telling me that it's difficult to be a pure devotee. And you said the same thing, said we are all trying to be pure devotees, something like that. So my question is, how would you know that you've reached the pinnacle of being a pure devotee? Like, how would you know, since it's so difficult?
How would we know when we become pure devotees? You'll always think that you're not a pure devotee.
So there's no being.
When you think that we advanced, when I think I'm advanced devotee, that means I'm not advanced at all. But a pure devotee doesn't think that he's a pure devotee. He thinks, like we was reading, he's lower than the lowest. We'll read it again. Yeah, so a pure devotee doesn't think that he's pure devotee. Because when the heart is pure, then we understand that how insignificant we are. Because now we're full of pride and full of ego, and we think that, I am doing it. That means we're not pure. But when we fully surrender to Krishna, then we understand, I'm fully dependent on Krishna. Without Krishna, I can't do anything. Nothing can be done without Krishna. I mean, he's saying, not even a blade of grass can move without the will of the Lord. So when we are pure devotees, and hopefully we all get there, when we are pure devotees, then we will not think that we're pure devotees. And as long as we're not thinking that we are somebody, that is the right mentality. Like that. If anyone wants to add something. Yeah, the live stream. We need the whole world to hear
you. Hare Krishna, live people. I wanted to add on what Prabhu was saying, and to also shed some of my understanding on what Prabhu was also asking. To be a pure devotee, yeah, how would you know? Okay, there's something that usually strikes me every time whenever I get puffed up, right? It's natural. It's natural with me. Very loud and humble and shy. So this thing is that power corrupts even the most righteous. Power corrupts even the most righteous. The moment you start thinking yourself, I am this, I am that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, that's when you know that you still have a long way to go. That's when you know that you are actually on a wrong path. There's this thing in African tradition that they teach, is that sometimes you get painful feet, you don't know why, and then they would ask, where are you going? It's not literally based on right now, like you're standing up and you're going to the loo or you're going to the restaurant. It's mostly based on the path in life that you're taking. Sometimes those that are with you, they are trying to show you that the path that you're taking is wrong, but you are not pure enough that you can hear them speak. You are still of this realm. You are still of this material existence. You are still under the modes of material nature. So in that sense, they would give you a sign that would make you pay attention to more of your spiritual path. So also to add on that is that to know if you are on the right path, especially in Krishna consciousness, it's humility. Humility and understanding. You see, when you are thinking that, okay, I'm a senior devotee, this devotee must give me the water, or the fire must come to me first, or the water must touch me first before anyone else. That's when you know you're not on the right path, right? So to add a little on that, how would you know? The point is not to know. Don't want to know if you are pure. It's not a race, it's a marathon. Usually people would say that. You heard that before, right? It's not a race, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So I would say that it is more of service. It is more of service. Like you look at gurus. You look at the guru. The guru gives you Krishna. right? The Guru gives you Krishna. He shifts your consciousness from bad path type of thing, and then he gives you the right light, right? You follow in his path. You follow in his teachings. Prabhupada teaches us that this is how you become a Vaishnava, right? Like Prabhu was saying that Prabhupada lived it. They tried to trace him. They tried to look at his sleeping patterns. They tried to, put hidden cameras, get people to like come and just observe in the background. Does he really do what he says? And Prabhupada did. That's why he is Acharya. Acharya means leading by example. You get what I'm saying? So, the mission should not be to find out if you are pure or if you are at the stage of becoming a pure devotee. Maharaj used to say to me, well, Boy Kanyo, I would say to Maharaj, I really need initiation and I don't want to cut my hair. I'm so attached to my hair. And Maharaj would say to me, well, Boy Kanyo, I have already accepted you. Initiation is just a formality. What I'm trying to tell you is that you don't need to know if you are actually 3 steps, 2 steps to be a pure devotee. I'm like, oh my God, I just left with 2 rounds and I'm a pure devotee. No. Just serve. 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 And love everyone. Love is the secret portion of devotional service. Because if you love, it's easy for you to love yourself. I don't know, I'm just making nonsense talk, but Hare Krishna, everyone.
That's okay?
Yeah, I'm okay now. Oh, yeah, that was something.
But we can speak about it afterwards as well. Okay? Anyone else? No? Okay. We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hare.
Put it in your 3D.